Respected friends, welcome you all. Receive the congratulations, receive the gratitudes, receive all the wishes and prayers. Narayana Hari, Govinda, Om. And let us together pray to the Divine to keep us on the path. Some more slokas and some more Vignanam. Let us gain. And Vignana Abhyasa Varnana is this Sarga number 22 of this Lelopakhyanam in the third Utpatthi Prakaranam of this great, grand, glorious text, Yoga Vaashishtha Maha Ramayana. Yes, with all hesitations, fears only, we too started talking on this text first time, but at the same time, there was faith in the divine and the grace. So, with the divine grace, we started relentlessly, we are doing. So, at least what is contained in this great Shastra, a micro, minute idea is coming to us. A great achievement to begin with. And this is how, as in the world, every jiva in their own way, with their own efforts, are evolving. You and I, as sadhaka jivas, are struggling this way and little by little evolving. Giving time to satsanga is evolution. In that satsanga, trying to listen to the Shastra is an evolution. Trying. Little bit understanding also evolution. If you feel some meaning in it, that's more evolution. And if the Sankalpa thought comes that experience you have to get, for that whatever sadhana has to be done, that I have to do, I will do. Even if a micro thought of this sort comes, we are on the path of evolution. This is how slowly, steadily the learning, growing happens. Knowing this, our job is to sum of these very important activities of the day, minimum 6 to 8 hours, we have to be committed, depending on our conveniences, other busy schedules. Yes, friends, at least hold on to this anchor and support of Tattva through the Shastra. A minimum thing we can do, I have learned it in my life. Leave the Shastra, subject is totally gone from our ears, mind, vicinity, observation. The spiritual subject gone. Again, we are totally into the world. Day by day, the worldliness should reduce, spirituality should increase. That sankalpa only should be strengthened. That prayatna alone should be done. That prarthana alone should be done. That should be is not because somebody is speaking to us, that should be is from within. It's not because I told you that should be is valid to you, nor you tell me. I should feel that my prarthana, sankalpa, prayatna should increase for adhyatmikata, reduce for the samsarata. I know. And I have to protect myself by going only to those places where I am encouraged in this. I am inspired in this. Isn't it? That's the minimum I have to do. And avoid going there where, directly or indirectly, those situations demoralize me from my spirituality. See, these are all the things. Morning class also we saw the Dussanga Dushta Mahima and Satsanga Shishta Mahima. Four slokas we have seen, three or four. Some more we'll touch today of this beautiful 22nd Sarga. Can we spend 2-3 minutes in our prayers like every day? Start. Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 ओं नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मभक्तियोगधर्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओं श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनाम वरानने। ओं ब्रह्मानंदं परमसुखदं परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद् गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीरामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्री वशिष्ठ विश्वामित्र वाल्मीकि वेदव्यास वामदेव नारदादि समस्त योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणादि आचार्येभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं श्रुति स्मृति पुराण इतिहास संतवाङ्मयोक्त साध्य साधनानुभव सिद्ध्यर्थं तत्रोक्त ऋषि मुनि गुरुदेवता दर्शनानुग्रहानुभव प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं धर्म संस्थापकानां नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रु विघ्न समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्माद् क्षणादारभ्य शाश्वत रूपेण वैदिक हैंदव धर्म संस्कृतेः धर्म मोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री महर्षि वाल्मीकि विरचित श्री राम वशिष्ठ संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण स्मृति प्रकरण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्नं मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः। ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ओम ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शन दृश्यभोः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरेवनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभाति अवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः। ओम सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं ब्रह्म नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखघनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारम् अपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं पदं। ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः न तु कर्म समाधिभिः। अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कीर्त्यते। ओम तस्मै श्री गुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे। विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहं। तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्री गुरुतमगुरवे भूरि भावैर्नताः स्मः। पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिदीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरपि कलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृत जलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ओम श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। वशिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः। योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणं तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणं लीलोपाख्याने विज्ञान Abhyasa Varnanam Nama Dvavimshatidama Sargaha Shri Vasishta Uvacha Shri Devi Uvacha. So, friends, hope you are continuing every day, bringing that Shraddha Ekagrata, which is so tough. I know that unless one knows the need of it, unless one masters it. Even to master our daily routine, to master our outer activities itself is so tough in today's world of plentitude, multiplicity, variety, so many of options, attractions, etc. There is only million distractions, and through them there is a, what you call, total draining of all our energy, other vital powers of us. In this crucial period of the history, very, very terrible if someone is coming to such class, that too regularly, that too wanting to listen and understand. It's, I tell you, so much appreciable. So if any one of you are there, to you only this class is Ankitam dedicated. More of you are there, welcome you all. So let us tune to the subject. The discussion is Mother Saraswati telling to Leela, Sri Ramji telling to, sorry, Vasishthaji telling to Sri Rama Adi, so many of the Shrotas there in that Ayodhya. Rama told by Vasishtha in that only the Leela Upakhyana came, and two Sargas, we are seeing that story, so many aspects through them, the higher knowledges are revealed to us. So latest topic is, be clear about it, Krishna Vasudeva, by putting our mind more and more on the one without second self. How do we put our mind on the self more and more? First, by again the same process of coming to the satsang, going to satsang, where that one without second self alone is reality. This is told. This is called putting the mind on that. Thereafter, finding all the courage, discipline, conviction, willpower. Again, that of the class also we are studying only that Shastra. That is called as putting the mind on that Eka Tattva. Third, even after studying Shastra, spending those 2 minutes, 3 minutes to begin with, once a day, twice a day, thrice a day, to feel for that truth, either through contemplation or through prayer or through the want to realize that or through trying to understand its nature. So the mind is being put to this Paramatma Tattva. In that effort, that time we are dedicating to Paramatma Tattva and not to the world. Therefore, one, new vasanas are not made. Second, as the knowledge is becoming stronger about the Paramatma's reality, so that, and also the Jagat's Mithyatva, to that extent, interest for the Jagat gets reduced. Then, even though the desire for the Jagat in the mind comes, we don't run to fulfill it. And the vasanas in us, in the deep recesses of our heart, coming up to the level of the mind intellect as desire, is not in our control. When it comes, if we try to fulfill those desires, then whether desire fulfilled or not, in the expected way or not, that effort to fulfill the desire strengthens the vasana. If we don't put the effort to fulfill the desire, either remain as a sakshi if you have that wisdom, or just allow it to come and go, then the vasana is gone. Another, this vasana came as desire, that also we have not fulfilled. That also is gone. Why we are doing this? Because as our knowledge of the self is becoming stronger, so too the knowledge that the other than the self is not real. That knowledge is becoming stronger. Our interest toward the world goes. Means up to the mind level the desire comes, but we don't fulfill. After some time, the purgation of asanas happen. No more the mind gets those desires. This is what in the last chapter last few slokas said. What is happening here? Focusing on the self leading to reduction of vasanas. First step. As much the vasanas get reduced, so much the hmm, uh, raga dvesha in us get reduced. Because only when the vasanas come as desires and we are interested in fulfill them, then only the raga dvesha are there. They also get reduced. When they get reduced, raga dvesha, our involvement in the world is reduced. Therefore, in the involvement of the world only, the mind gets continuously trichotomized as drashta darshana drishya. When the raga dvesha reduced, drashta darshana drishya also gets reduced. To that extent, mind becomes calm. With that calm mind, our main pursuit of focusing on that one without second self becomes more stronger, deeper. In that way, keep on doing it. All the four things happen. What are the four things happen? Vasanas get reduced, ragadvesha get reduced or zero-fied, drashta darshana drishya, rupena, the mind getting transformed, that also gets reduced. Then the mind, along with that, me, realizing the self. That sthiti here mentioned by Mother as nirvikalpata. This is what to be everyday remembered. Okay, vasanakshaya, raka dveshadika drushaha, naudameshyanti, then drashtu drushya darshanata atyanta bhava, leading to nirvikalpa samadhana. When that nirvikalpa anubhuti happens to us, that I am that Brahman, then there is nothing other than Brahman. Therefore, samsara sambhavaha cha ayam nirmulatvam upaishyati. The samsara also totally gets nirmulita. There is no coming back of samsara. Only till we realize the reality that there is always some bhavana of coming of the samsara. Once the self is realized, that being one without second, that being reality, anything other than that being never existing, coming back to the delusory samsara will not happen. Hope we are able to grasp them. This is how a sadhaka does sadhana. It appears to be tough because we are not exposed to this knowledge which we were supposed to right from the age we became aware to know the knowledge. है ना? जब से ज्ञान पाने का अवकाश हमें मिलता है लेवल, तब से पहले तत्व ज्ञान देना चाहिए. हाँ, कौमारे आचरित प्राज्ञ धर्मान भागवतानिह. कुमार अवस्था से ही ऑल द तत्व ज्ञान तत्व संबंधी साधना we have to do. So simple it is. My parents, my education system, my government, my friends and relatives, and myself. Whatever I do from childhood, that's what I become. If all of them put together are pushing me only into the world of artha and kama, as it is happening now, so I become arthakami and kamakami only, called as samsari. Just imagine a situation in the whole country that the government, the constitution, the education system, the friends, relatives, the movies, family members, all of them are only teaching Paratattva and sadhana for Paratattva. Manu. Even I am also involving in them. The entire personality of mine becomes that only. Isn't it? It's all, that's how it is. A Shuddha Brahmana family. Right from childhood, they are told no non-veg, nothing doing, just Shakahar. Because that fellow lives for 80, 90 years, not even looking at any Mamsahar. That's how their training. In the other place, Tin Subha, Dopar, Sham, without non-veg, will not go. Jindagi chalega hi nahi. That's how they train themselves. See, this fellow in 80 years, not even once even looked at it. The other fellow 8 years, not even one day, one time the food was without non-veg. और उनका वैसा ट्रेनिंग है. कैसा आप ट्रेनिंग अपने आप को दे रहे हो? What we are discussing is the toughness in the understanding of this subject is we are less exposed to this. Not only that, we are more and more exposed to the opposite of this. Like in these Shastras, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya is told. In every other place, Jagat Satyam Brahmanasti is being, may not be directly vocally told, but that's what is done throughout. We have to be opening to such of the truths that are there. We are not, what say, fighting with anyone, or we are not doing any harm. We are just discussing and finding the open truths or secrets. From that, what is required for us, we are learning. है ना? If we want to make our Vedantic Jnanam learning easy, doing sadhana easy, then we have to keep on doing that. है ना? Now, how many millions of examples I have to give you? If someone is lazy to even learn how to drive cycle, throughout life you can't even learn that. The other fellow is active, dynamic. साइकिल लर्न करेगा, स्कूटर भी लर्न करेगा, थ्री व्हीलर भी करेगा, फोर व्हीलर भी करेगा. ही विल बिकम फ्लाइट का पायलट भी बनेगा, देन फाइटर प्लेन का भी पायलट बनेगा, देन ही कैन बिकम, यू अंडरस्टैंड, लाइक दैट ही कैन बी एन एस्ट्रोनॉट, ही कैन वो. अब कोई चाह रहा है तो ऐसे वो डेवलप होता जा रहा है, नहीं है तो वहीं रहेगा वो. इन एनी सब्जेक्ट दैट आई हैव टू नो. कभी भी मुझे नहीं आता नहीं, मैं प्रयत्न नहीं कर रहा हूं, लेट मी ट्राई, वो आएगा मुझे. हाँ, here also we have made a beginning, how much ever tough it may look like, how much ever painful it may look like, how much ever not tasty this spiritual pursuit may look like. This being the greatest, this being the ultimate, we should not leave it. Rather, when we have to make it more and more regular, serious, so that the toughness, the heaviness slowly gets reduced. Like in life too, what I like eating that food, any stupid will do it. Even though I don't like it, but it is good for my health. The one who consumes that is more wise. है कि नहीं? जो मैं चाहता हूँ उसमें कितने गड़बड़े नहीं पता, है ना? जो मैं नहीं चाहता हूँ लेकिन हेल्थ के लिए अच्छा है. टेकिंग दैट इज द विजडम, because health is important. So too, my spiritual growth is important. Therefore, so much time consuming, energy consuming, concentration consuming, painful, bitter, heavy, loaded is this spirituality. Yet it is Shreya Marga. I will go through it. That's how day by day, month by month, year by year, life by life, we become more and more engrossed in the spirituality. Accordingly, the result is more and more near to the truth, more and more away from the untruth. Accordingly, more and more getting liberation, freedom, and more no more the bondage of the outer world. है कि नहीं? सोचो भाई इसमें क्या अस्पष्टता है, सब स्पष्ट ही है ना. Okay, now coming to the Sarga Bais, 1, 2, 3, almost 4 mantras we have seen slokas, but the meaning being so subtle, you can call it as mantra itself. Okay, now point 1, 2, 3, listen carefully. We have to reach to Aham Chidakasha Rupasmi state for Mukti. Be very clear undoubtedly about that. Aham Chidakasha, according to this Saraswati Upadesha. चिदाकाश चित्ताकाश भूताकाश, वो दृष्टि से हम बता रहे. इन अदर लैंग्वेज, अहम ब्रह्मास्मि इज द मुक्त स्थिति. then brahmani chit swarupa chidakasha swarupa. Krishna Vasudeva. Second, a little lesser than that is aham adivahika dehosmi. In that adivahika deha sthiti, I am freed from adi bhautika deha dadatmya and all the sufferings which I go through when the Deha goes through various modifications. From that, at the Ativahika level, I am free. Not only that, in that Ativahika Sukshma Sthiti, for me, all the travels, worlds are accessible. That while living in the Sharira only, we are able to detach from the Sharira, discovering ourselves to be the Jiva. Like we do it. एक जगह बैठ गए, आराम से. We are traveling all over the world in our mind. But still we are holding on to Dehatada. Right? But through sadhana, Dehatadhatmya vasanas are gone fully. Aham jivosmi sthiti we achieve. That's called Ativahika sthiti. Second level. Third is Dehosmi sthiti. In the Dehosmi, Deha demands are my demands. Deha problems are my problems. And with the Deha who are related, they are related to me. And then I am attached to all the world for the Deha propitiation. And I am hateful to somebody also. I hate somebody. All that is samsara. Okay, here Leela is in that first stage. Deha tadatmya, husband died. Misery. And the other people also in the kingdom, they are also miserable. These are all the Stula Deha Sambandhi Jivana. Now she wants to, with little knowledge, gained from Mother Saraswati, want to see that Brahmana Gruha. So with this Stula Deha you cannot, because it is different world altogether. So you have to get the Ativahika Deha. For that you have to do sadhana. Beyond that is Chidakasha Deha, where you are Mukta. This is the subject under discussion going on. जस्ट रिमाइंडर 5 मिनट डेली थोड़ा रिमाइंड करने से पता चलता है हम क्या बात कर रहे हैं, इसमें क्या मीनिंग है. Okay, having made this base, now what we saw in the first 1, 2, 3, 4 mantras. First mantra was what? Leelopakhyane Vignana Abhyasa Varnanam Sri Devi Vacha. See, she is telling these things. And when mother is telling, to the extent she can tell us, she will tell us. To convince us, to the extent possible, she will use the examples. So, taking the examples used by mother, yukti used by mother, given by mother, we have to understand what she says. Then, how much are we understand? Unless we do it and come to that experience, we won't be fully getting convinced of it. अनुभव ही फाइनल हमें कन्विक्शन देता है. And remember that nobody in the world can do for us. है ना? Like a yoga acharya comes and says that these are the asanas. When you do, depending on your age and your diseases, you will become fitter. And he teaches us also how to do asana. But unless I do it, not one day, kam se kam 6 mahine, and my body gets accustomed to those yoga asanas, accordingly becomes absolutely flexible and perfect in all the 9 or 11 physiological functions, I can really experience what he said is true. Isn't it a naturopathist's guidance, a vegetarianist's guidance, or so many people are there in the world guiding us. Each one is doing research. Everybody is trying to contribute to the world. Of course, somehow behind that there is a desire for some money, some name and fame. That's ignorance. Oh, dire dire jayega. The fact that they want to contribute to the world is a good beginning for them to evolve. As they evolve from the selfish, they become selfless. Thereafter, from serving at the gross level, serving at the subtle level, they come. From serving at the subtle level to serving at the reality level, they come. But so the world is blessed by so those people. While doing so, they evolve from within also. Now, all these are explanations, extensions. But the main thought is the Adibhautika, Ativahika, Adhyatmika. When we actually do and experience, then only it is final proof. Got it? Nobody can bring it in front of us. है ना? दिखाओ डॉक्टर साहब, ये वाला दवाई लेने से हेल्थ ठीक हो जाएगा. और वो कैसे दिखाएंगे? Even if he takes medicine and he becomes healthy, how it can be my health? After all, first of all, overall, of all, I have to have my health. No. Then when I take those medication, then it is my experience. So too, neither Saraswati Mata nor Vaashishthaji nor any Devata Guru can finally prove to us the reality. Final proof is Anubhava Pramana. To get up to that Anubhava level, they are with us to guide us, to help us, and to give us knowledges, etc. To clear our doubts, to inspire us, to encourage us, to with us. ये सब वो करेंगे. अब जिंदगी में हर जगह देखो, an astronaut Astronaut has to go into space. So the entire astronaut department can give him every training, every equipment, everything. But जाना तो उसको पड़ेगा ना. Think about it. A deep diver into the ocean. He may be given all the training how to dive and how to go inside and do all the protecting oneself and do the observation of all the aquatics. जो भी है, but जाना तो उसको पड़ेगा ना, है ना? A sports person may be trained by the coaches. Others can give them all the tips, trainings, है ना? पैड्स लगा दो, ग्लव्स लगा दो, हेलमेट लगाओ, तो बॉल ऐसा आता है तो ऐसा बैट करो, ऐसा है तो ऐसा करो. But ultimately, we'll have to face the ball on the ground himself, isn't it? In army, में the entire commanders may teach them everything. है ना? Everything. How to put the cap, how to put the helmet, how to put the bulletproof jackets, shoe वगैरह, how to hold the rifle, where to put the entire magazine, what you call I don't know much of the army things, and how to use the various weapons, how to camouflage yourself. Camouflage, something is what. If I'm wrong, correct me. I'm not expert in English at all. Just trying. Then how to just save yourself when one enemy comes, two enemy comes, three come, how to mutually cooperate with each other, how yourself finding the opportunity, attack the enemy and neutralize him. How much ever is given variety of teaching training. Finally, he will have to be there on the borders facing the enemy, saving himself, saving the country. Where is the place where that person, without doing him, something can happen? No. A child too of 2 years, 3 years, mother may hold the finger to make that fellow stand, but finally he'll have to stand. She may support him to walk, but finally he'll have to walk. She may shout every monkey gesture she can do, आजा आजा बेटा, but finally उस गधे उसको दौड़ना पड़ेगा. Isn't it? He will have to run. है ना? How much ever the English teacher, mother tongue teacher, second language teacher teaches, but that fellow has to learn, no? Here also, no Mother Saraswati, remember, no Jagannatha, nobody can finally help us. They provide everything. Using that, we have to help ourselves. Uddaret Atmana Atmana. Is it okay? Is it logical? Because the converse point is bitter and painful. That's what I'm not sharing it, though I'll touch it. That if I myself am not trying, all the help given by all the 33 crore devatas also is futile, meaningless, useless. 33 koti devata and 32,000 guru aake bhi they teach us, nothing will happen if I am not doing myself. That's the frustration in all the gurus and gods. है ना? If by giving tappad, if they can evolve us, they would have long back given us and made us evolve. Isn't it? थप्पड़ खा रहे हैं बट इवॉल्व हम नहीं हो रहे because it is in our hands. Like, by putting in the jail, if all criminals become honest people, put all people in jail में 2 दिन में ठीक होकर आएंगे ना. Putting in the jail only they can do. But the fellow from inside should think, all my freedom lost, being in the jail, all the insult, humiliation has come, because I did this mistake. Let me not do this. When he realizes from within, for that purpose only he is put in the jail, then he will not do such things again that somebody will have to put him in jail. याद रखो ये सारे बात. Why all that is important is I am not taking charge of my life and its evolution. If I don't take, nobody can help. If I take, nobody can stop. Ah, that's the beauty. Nobody can stop means take it in that way that no power should stop us. Now, just to browse through 5, 6, 7, 8 slokas. Sloka 1. Sri Devi Vacha. One by one. 3 are seen. Very simple but very important. Sometimes some things are so complicatedly with all complicated efforts it is gained, but it is not worth. Some things are very simple, but they are so precious and valuable. And we should have the discretion between these two. कभी कभी ना हम कॉम्प्लिकेटेड चीज के लिए जाते हैं, उसको पाकर भी परेशान होते, isn't it? Like a cell phone. अभी 2 लाख का सेल फोन, it is so complicated, so delicate, it has so many features, good, but I don't need that ना. I must have my wisdom कि मेरा लायकपन क्या है, what I deserve. एंड इफ आई गेट इट सच आई कांट, ये तो खराब हो गया, उसका पार्ट्स नहीं मिलते, दूसरे से मंगाओ. ऑन द अदर हैंड मेरे औकात और काम के लिए छोटा फोन का, दैट इज इंटेलिजेंस. एवरीथिंग भाई, व्हीकल ऑल्सो. वाई गेट 2 करोड़ का गाड़ी विच यू कैन नॉट ड्राइव, इट इज अगेन सो फनी. So many things that are there. For me, a new ambassador has come, going to be launched next week. That is enough. Life में ना, one of the biggest mistake we do is compare with others and compete with others. Wrong, isn't it? What is my main goal? What is my main path? In that path, while going, what are the things, accessories I need, auxiliaries I need? Only that much. Why should we be such way uh, stupid or ignorant or deluded just to see the world and compete or compare? Our path is this, no? Whichever. Now we are saying spiritual path. हर चीज पे हमें हर एक को कॉपी नहीं करना, जरूरत नहीं है. Very intelligent thought. Anyway, some other day in common sense thought, I'll elaborate it more in the morning class. Shloka 1. Om Shri Devi Vacha Yatha Swapna Parignanat Swapna Deho Na Vastavaha Anubhutopi Ayam Tadvat Vasanata Navadasat. Be careful, be cautious, be very, very accurate in catching. First, the example. Second, through the example, what Jnana mother wants to give. Example is when I wake up from the dream. The dream Sharira, whichever was there, giving me so many anubhutis, taken by me as real when I was in dream, is found to be avastava when I wake up, unreal. मांडुक्य उपनिषद लेकर कल एग्जॉस्टिवली एक्सप्लेन किया. So I'll not repeat it. And this is our everyday experience. When I wake up, dream body is not real, avastava. Example understood? Same way, when the vasanas get reduced, this sthula deha also will be experienced or known by us as avastava. Therefore, what is the summary knowledge here? It is our strong vasanas that they are giving the reality to the Sharira and our tadatmya with the Sharira. When those vasanas are reduced, then the reality gets reduced, tadatmya also gets reduced. Accordingly, samsara, this side gets reduced, and our sadhana to realize the self can be more intensely done. First shloka explained. In dream body is real, dream experiences are real. Woken up, the dream body is unreal. Avastava. Then all anubhutis are unreal. Because dream body से ही dream अनुभूतियां हुए हैं. So too, when the vasanas get reduced, sthula sharira also is unreal, and sthula sharira krita anubhutis also are not real. When the vasanas get reduced. Therefore, body is real, this body is me, through the body, this sukha dukkha, all is because of the strong vasanas. They have to be reduced to. Focus on this point. That's the meaning of first sloka. Next level in the next sloka, little higher. What is it? Same thing. Yatha swapna parignanat. है ना? Be attentive. When swapna parignan hota hai means dream is known as dream, not as real anymore. Swapna deha prashamyati. That totally the swapna deha goes away. एक तो अवास्तव करके समझ में आया. Not only that, when we wake up, the dream body is no more there, no? Kshinati. Prashamyati means it totally gets disappeared only. है क्या वो देह कहीं स्वप्न देह? This is what this was told in Mandukya Alata Shanti Prakarana in the 32, 33 shlokas. That whatever the swapna deha we had, it is unreal, because when we wake up, there is another deha on that bed with which the moment we wake up, in no time we get identified. And we know the other deha is not there. ऐसा है क्या? Let us say in the swapna, I got an elephant body. And when I woke up, my human body also is there on the palang, and elephant body थोड़ा heavy है ना, इसलिए पलंग के नीचे है. ऐसे है क्या? होता है क्या वो? It's not there. Prashamyati. That's the prashamyati. First, स्वप्न से वेकअप करो तो स्वप्न देह प्रशाम्यति, उसको समझो. That is an example. In the same way, vasanatanavat tadvat. In the same way, second shlok mein, when the vasanas become tanu, thin and thin and thinner, in the same way like that, dream body gets prashamyati, tadvat jagrat deha api shamyati. You know how carefully Mother Saraswati is inducing or introducing this jnanam in Leela. So the stula deha shamanam means it's like just there for some vyavahara. More than that, it is not so really existing that it is demanding so many things and we are catering into its needs, and other than that, as if there is no thing to be attended to. That's why you see when a marriage at home is there, or when the 10, 12 people are there at home as guests, or the mother when she'll have to feed the entire family, having 4, 5 children, she forgets her dehata adatmya only. Those days, 103 टेम्परेचर भी टेम्परेचर दिखता ही नहीं. नाउ 98.9 इज सो मच टेम्परेचर. देह आदत बिकॉज कोई काम धंधा नहीं है. Isn't it? Especially the rich people. Every work is done by the workers. They have nothing to do. They would either eat, bhoga, or watch TV, tamoguna, or go to the kitty, friends. अगर नहीं है, तो hold on to the husband and make him miserable by scolding him for everything. And his parents and his grandparents is great. देख तमाशा. Narayan. You see that we don't remember our sharira like in sports. 8 hours those fellows run. शरीर और शरीर का श्रम दोनों भूल जाते. Just when you love some work, you are not tired at the body level, even if the body is tired. There are all the other examples for other topics, by the way. So it second one is what? When the vasanas get reduced, then deha also gets prashamyati. Now, this is very sublime. Many gurus either do not know or don't want to reveal these sublime truths, because they, at the outset, will be frightening to the audience. Because the audience, whoever are there, Shrota, Sarjiva, they host me bhava only, they are there. They are fully settled in that. They are fully comfortable in they host me with all the fears of the old age, disease, and death. They keep postponing it. They keep avoiding it in the mind. Yet they want to be in the body. They are settled in it. इसलिए गुरु महाराज ये बात को कहने के लिए वो डरते हैं, क्योंकि लोग ये बातें सुनते सुनाते रहोगे तो दे विल रन अवे, दे वोंट कम टू द क्लास. If you want more audience, you have to tell them ये उपासना कर, वो कर, ये पैसा मिलेगा, वो भोग मिलेगा, ये रोग दूर हो जाएगा. Then they are excited because they have to be comfortable at the deha level. That thought they are in. To such people, by such speaker, he doesn't know it or he doesn't speak. Subtle thing is what? Deha prashamyati. What is meaning of the deha prashamyati? You will rise to the ativayika sthiti. Stula deha becomes so less meaningful to you. It is used for the work whenever it is required. It is given the food and bath whenever it's required. Other than that, the thought of Sharira won't come at all into your mind. The yogis, the ajnanis, They are all like that only, Mahatmas. You know, uh, Yoga Shariram, Bhoga Viduram, Bhuvanadharam. In that Sadashiva Brahmendra Yogi, Kirtana about Paramatma, it comes. Yoga Shariram, Bhoga Viduram, करके भगवान के बारे में कहते हैं. Again, I am repeating here. Vasana Tanavat, when the vasanas gets reduced, means when you work on that, it won't happen just like that. Vasana Tanavat, Tadvat, Jagrat Dehopi Shamyati. So Jagraha Deha Shamyati means the value given to the Jagrat Deha, importance to given to Jagrat Deha gets reduced. That we have to achieve it. Other knowledge which helps is the Jagrat Deha and the Antakarana. They're all upadhis given for us to do our Swadharma, if possible to do some Loka Seva, if possible to do some Punya, if possible to do some Upasana Yajnayaga, and to make it possible to use it for the sadhanas. उससे उतना ही हमारा नाता है. Like a car scooter. You have to travel somewhere, go in that, keep it in the garage baad mein, and then give it some servicing when it's requiring. Clean it. That's all. No. कितने सर पे लगाओगे उस गाड़ी स्कूटर को? So to this body. That understanding comes when the vasanas go away. That's the meaning of dehaha parashamyati. See how tough it is to convey and for you also to catch it. How many number of examples given? You have to be alert. Otherwise, throughout the day, they host me, they host me, they host me, only going on to us. So many vasanas, and with every attending to the Deha demand, the vasanas are becoming stronger. To that extent, Aham Brahmasmi, तो दूर चला गया वो उसका ख्याल तक नहीं है ना. In the age of 80-90 years we live, 0.005% Aham Brahmasmi is remembered, 99.9995% Dehosmi. We have to that way calculate, understand. It's all understanding given, whether you take it or not. Yatha swapna parigyanat swapna deha prashamyat. Prashamyat is very good thought, powerful. है ही नहीं स्वप्न देहा. अगर ऐसा होता, in my last so many years, I might have got 20,000 swapnas. So 20,000 dehas should be there around me. To me. Prashamyate, gaya. In the same way, little higher level में वासना तानवा तद्वत जागर देहोपि शाम्यत. That jagar deho शाम्यत, yesterday we explained to you exhaustively that some great yogis, they won't even want the deha, they have that freedom. They won't choose the sharira only. With the sukshma atvahi sharira only, they do whatever the works they have to do. And in the lokas above, mahar loka, Jano and Tapo and Satyaloka, there are no Stula Dehas. They are only Kanti Dehas. The light body they are called. Not a light like 40 kilo, 50 kilo. Light, रोशनी वाली शरीर. कांति देह होते हैं वहां के साधकों को, जीवों को. Not the स्थूल देह at all. In the Maharloka. And Jano Tapo Satyo. Up to Maharloka, there are the शरीरास are there, स्थूल सूक्ष्म. ऊपर जाओ तो कांति देह ही होते. What all these listening should tell us? One very important byproduct, by the way understanding. I is a concept. With any Stula Sukshma Karana Deha, I can get identified and I can express like that. In the Stula Deha, because of my various funny doings, I can enter into pig body, donkey body, buffalo body, anything. But I am an individuality. Choice is mine. Knowingly or unknowingly, I can identify with any Stula Sukshma Karana Deha. All of that is avidya, delusion, samsara. This I also, like the river merging in the ocean, can merge in the infinite conscious self. Then it will not have any necessity to identify with Stula Sukshma Karana Deha, in which alone there is samsara. Or any of the other dehas. No need. थोड़ा सा 2 बार 3 बार आत्मनान से ध्यान से सुनकर सोचने से थोड़ा थोड़ा वो ग्रहण होता है अंदर. ग्रहण इज नॉट द सूर्य ग्रहण. द कैचिंग और अंडरस्टैंडिंग हैपेंस. स्वामी जी ऑलरेडी सारे ग्रह मेरे पीछे पड़े हैं. So how much you troubled those graha that they are behind you? Nobody is just behind us unless we trouble anybody in our past lives. इसलिए इस जिंदगी में किसी को तंग मत करना, फिर nobody will trouble you next life. Wonderful. By the way, so two shlokas are seen. Now third one. Swapna sankalpa dehante dehoyam chetyate yatha tatha jagrad bhavanante udetyevati vahikaha. In the sequential development of the thought, this is third level, little subtler, little deeper, little higher. Let us try to analyze. He says, Swapna Sankalpa Deha Ante. है ना? Swapna Swapna Deha. Or in the Sankalpa also, you can take up any Deha. मनी मन आप ऐसे बैठ के कौवे की तरह अपने आप को इमेजिन करके you can fly from one tree to the other. That's called Sankalpa Deha. Or you can become that dancer who is dancing and you can also make all those dances. संकल्प में आप कोई भी देह ले सकते हो ना, कौन रोक रहा है आपको? Many people go into that trance, that imagination. All of us go through, but we are little mature, so we come out of it when somebody touches. Some people get lost in that for some more time. संकल्प देह कहते हैं. So here he says, when the sankalpa and swapna deha, be attentive, go away, means when we come out of that state, the dream state, etc., into the waking, what is happening? स्वप्न संकल्प देह का अंत होने के बाद देहोयम चेत्यते यथा, that we become aware of this स्थूल शरीर or not. When in the swapna, swapna deha, sankalpa, sankalpa deha, anta, when both of them ended, we are aware of this deha or not. Be careful. This is the example given. To convey what point? The point is, tatha, in the same way, jagrat bhavana ante, means when the vasanas are reduced, because of which this deha tadatmya gets reduced. Therefore, this jagrat jagat is not so real, not so important. That state is achieved. Then where do we go to? Tada udeti ativahikaha deha. That's the point. That we slowly get identified more and more with our ativahika deha, not the adibhautika deha. That's what we have to evolve. That means देहोहम से जीवोहम तक हम आ गए. Then we have to reach to Brahma. Isn't it? When you come to the jivoham sthiti, as a jiva, every body I'm going on changing. Like that million bodies I changed earlier. This is one of them. Then our load of living in this body and struggling gets reduced. That's why from Dehoham Sthiti, even if we come to the Jivosmi, lot of pain, burden, dukkha goes and we become careful to, because as a Jiva, if we want to enter into better body next life, we have to behave better in this life. वो awareness आ जाता है. But that's not the ultimate goal. But here, that Jivoham or Ativahika Deha required for Leela, because she wants to see that Brahmana, Griha and that Geha. That Griha and that whole Gaon which is there in between the forest and the mountains. So this is how we reach to the Ativahika Deha state. Now, these words, these sentences, these knowledges have to be so thoroughly understood and kept as goals also. फील करते जाना अंदर से, मुझे आदि भौतिक देह तादात्म्य से आदिवाहिक देह तादात्म्य में पहुंचना है. So sow the seeds in the heart. And it is possible. The Mother Saraswati, Jnana Devata, she herself is telling. Vaashishtha himself is telling. And yesterday, how exhaustively we explained to you this one. If not for the Ativahika Deha, how the Devatas and Gurus who are in different physical place and plane come to us when we do prarthana. स्थूल देह थे सो आ नहीं सकते ना वो लोग. It will take time. You know, heart in heart we believe about Ativahika Deha. That's why we do prayers to all Devatas and Gurus. And we can see they come and bless and protect. Yesterday, how I explained? Do you remember exhaustive yesterday? As the gross gurus come to our house or when we go, they receive us and teach us. So to the gurus in the Sukshma Rupa also come and treat us, train us, we told you. There's so many cases in our History, recent past 100 साल पहले भी कि the Guru came in the dream and gave him the Diksha and that gave him Jivan Mukti. हाँ, सूक्ष्म रूप में आकर दे दिए. They are all very sublime things. No, today's world makes grossness को इतना importance देने के कारण these subtle things are totally neglected. हाँ, इवन भूत प्रेत भी नेग्लेक्ट कर रहे हैं अपन. उसको लेकर कितने डराते थे बच्चों को. अब नहीं डर बिकॉज वी हैव फॉरगॉटन ऑल दैट. भूत प्रेत भी डर रहे हैं अपन को देखकर, यार जाना मत. है ना, द चाइल्ड भूत इज टेलिंग द मदर भूत, मम्मा मम्मा उधर से नहीं जाएंगे, इधर से जाएंगे. क्यों? क्योंकि वो लोग, वो मनुष्य लोग रहते हैं. Like in childhood, we used to say, na, let's not go by that dark road. Let us go by this road, even though it is little longer, because some Manushya Sanchara is there, at least after 100, 200 meters. यहाँ तो कोई नहीं रहते, वो ghost होते हैं. Nowadays, ghost things like that. So, gross, we are lost in that. अध्यात्म का साधना का अर्थ है स्थूल से सूक्ष्म में प्रवेश करना. Can you underline this? Can you write it and somewhere put it? In our identity, from the gross to subtle. आदि भौतिक देह से आतिवाहिक देह. From that also, adhyatmika deha, and that is aham brahmas. So here up to this shloka. Swapna sankalpa deha ante. See the ulta example there. Swapna sankalpa deha, when it ends, I get identified with this body. That's an example. I become aware of this. In the same way, this body identity when goes away because of the vasana reduction, I become identified with the sthula, sukshma sharira, that's called ativahika. तथा जागृत देह भावना अंते उदेति आतिवाहिका. अब एक बार वो लग जाता है ना, ना हम देहोस्मि हम जीवोस्मि, you can throw party to yourself and you can catch it because others don't understand. What have you achieved? लग गया मानो, अब्बा आज से वही लगा गोल. Let me enter into the ativahika tadatmita from the adibhautik. There is no greater gain for a human being when he discovers, है ना, कि ना हम देहोस्मि. पता चल गया उनको. हाँ, देह यूज कर रहे हैं, देश में रहेंगे, लेकिन मैं देह नहीं हूं. वो होता है व्हेन यू थिंक अबाउट हु एम आई सोचोगे तो पता चलता है ओनली ए कॉन्सेप्ट ईगो विथ ऑल द थिंग्स ऑफ देहेंद्र प्राण मन तादात्म्य एंड थ्रू देम द अटैचमेंट विद द थिंग्स एंड बीइंग्स अराउंड. दिस नॉनसेंस इज ईगो. अदर देन दैट देयर इज नो ईगो. ये सब निकाल दो, ईगो भी चला जाएगा. यू रिमेन ओनली एज ब्रह्मन. एनीवे, तीन श्लोक वी हैव सीन. नाउ द फोर्थ वन. वन मोर टच करेंगे आज. स्वप्ने निर्वासना बीजे यथोदेति सुषुप्तता जागृति अवासना बीजे तथोदेति विमुक्तता. See the fourth and final stage. How nice, you see, four shlokas Mother Saraswati has given us gradually 4 levels. Swapna Jagat Deha Avastava. Jagar Deha Avastava. Point 1. Swapna Deha Prasamanam. Jagar Deha Prasamanam. Point 2. From the Swapna Sankalpa, when we wake up, Jagra Deha Tadatmya. From the when Jagrat Vasanas get reduced, we awaken to the Ativahika Tadatmya. Third thing. समझ में आ रहा है ना? ध्यान से सुन रहे हो? Now the fourth one, ultimate one. What is it? Swapne nirvasana bije. When in the swapna, swapne nirvasana bije. When the vasana go into the bija avastha, they won't express. Swapna dissolves. Then where do you enter into? Deep sleep. Nirvasana bija means when the vasanas go into bija avastha, they are not manifesting. From the swapna, where do you enter? Into deep sleep. As if there is nothing only. Example. In the same way, jagrati avasana bija. In the waking plane, through various sadhanas that are indicated, all the vasanas, when they are totally रिमूव्ड, रोस्टेड, द बीज भी रोस्ट कर दिया, सारे वासनाएं भी निकलती है मानो. तथा उदयति व्हाट, like the dreamer enters into sleep, the waker, when his vasanas get dissolved, he enters into what sthiti? Tatha udeti vimuktata, that he enters into never bound, ever liberated state of aham brahmasmi. देखो, मैंने इसलिए कहा ये चैप्टर इतना मजेदार है, टू गिव अस द स्पष्टता. अब इधर उधर आपको भटकने की जरूरत नहीं, कितने शास्त्र पढ़ो मैं. दिस मच इज एनफ टू अंडरस्टैंड द बेसिक्स ऑफ वेदांत आर अंडरस्टूड, द बेसिक्स ऑफ आध्यात्मिकता आर अंडरस्टूड, व्हाट टू डू, व्हाट टू अचीव आल्सो आर अंडरस्टूड. In four shlokas, the jnanam is given. Fourth one is understood. Swapne nirvasana bije. So the vasanas, which were in the bijavastha, when they got manifested, swapna was happening. Now the manifesting into Swapnavastha, those vasanas, when they go back into Bijavastha, then we get Nidra. It's an example. Huh? Some more vasanas are there, another dream can come in the same night. दो चार ड्रीम्स भी आ सकते हैं, किसी को 10 आ सकते हैं, किसी को 4 दिन तक ड्रीम ही नहीं आएगा, किसी को हर दिन आता रहता है. So example is only for example's sake. That day when the manifestation of bija into vasana or bija into the thought goes away, the swapna purusha enters into deep sleep. Same way, we're all in Jagrada Avastha. In our Jagrada Avastha, by all our sadhanas, jnana, not one day, just like the Vaashishtha said, immediately happening to Rama, ऐसा नहीं. Just like Leela is told by Sastra ji, Leela को 1 मिनट में हो गया, ऐसा नहीं. It takes time, 1 day, 2 day, 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 2 year, 1 decade, 2 decades, 1 life, 10 lives, depending on how many vasanas we have, how much we are working on that. And most important than removing the vasanas, not adding the new ones is important. है कि नहीं? ये दोनों कर करके जब भी हो तब, यदा तदा, यदा, when it happens, जागृति अवासना बीजे, when all the jagrat vasanas go away, right from the bija sthiti, tatha udeti vimuktata. As the dreamer entered to sleep, the waker enters into mukta sthiti. That mukta sthiti is chidakasha rupoham, aham brahmasmi. Whichever the language or words you use, the idea is understood, that is enough, and you must have understood it, which every day we are discussing. After this, now the Jivan Mukta Purushas are there. They also live like us in this world. And they respond as we respond only. And for us, when we respond to the world, the Hetu is the Vasanas in us. Do you mean to say that for the Jivan Muktas also there are Vasanas? No. They are not Vasanas in them. They are the Atmanubhuti only responding to them. This is a very sublime, trickish thought. Even the big Vedanta Jnanis also less exposed or not caught, not easily catchable. Anna? Like a tea is put in front of me when I am in the Avidya Dasha. Because of my Vasana, I know that it is tea. Isn't it? Vasana means samskara means jnana. Sara jnana vasana hi hai. Means it's there in the samskara rupa. No, Jivan Mukti ke vasana hai khatam ho gaya na? Yeah. So when you put a tea in front of him, the will he say, I don't know it? Because he has no vasanas. Or if he says that it's a tea, that means he has got vasana. What it is? The idea answer is, to him it's a tea. That recognition is not coming from vasana, it's coming from the conscious self only. That is, he says कि ये या यम तो जीवन मुक्तानाम वासना सा न वासना शुद्ध सत्व अभिधानम तत् सत्ता सामान्यम उच्यते. This is a little subtler thought. Then some more definitions, explanations are given of little higher. We'll try to catch them. देखो कल का बात आज रिपीट करने से थोड़ा स्पष्टता बढ़ा है कि नहीं. This is how we have to deepen our already gained knowledge, strengthen our already gained knowledge, and go on adding up to newer and newer understandings about what is the whole phenomena. That helps us in reduction in all the tensions or his anxieties. Right? More so, it helps us in tuning to the absolute reality more. That is more important. ये सारा इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. हमको सद वस्तु ही सत है, उसको पाना ही सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट लक्ष्य है. But whatever the blockades or obstructions are there in our understanding the reality and doing sadhana, realizing they are all removed by this knowledge. इसलिए ये ज्ञान भी हमको जरूरत पड़ता है. Now you understood, if you are little careful today, you understood, no? It is because of vasanas, dehosmi is there and I am suffering. You can reduce the vasanas, then dehosmi goes away, then I can become ativahika. That is more beautiful, more lighter life than dehosmi. एक thought तो आया ना, may not be with all clarity, may not be with the knowledge that how to achieve it, may not be even doing that. Idea तो आ गया. That's the big gain today. No, sustain that knowledge. Do the sankalpa more and more, desire more and more, prayer to the Lord. Instead of asking the Lord, give me all the sukhabhoga to this deha, ask, I don't want this adibhautika deha tadatmya. Oh Lord, give me ativahika deha. Isn't it? At least a better thing we are asking the Lord. And those who study Vedanta and Upanishads deeply, they don't even ask for the ativahika. They directly ask, oh Bhagavan, give me ambramas. Because that's the highest. Continue. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam. Bol Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai, Vasishtha Bhagavan ki jai, Saraswati Maiya ki jai, लीला माता की जय, वेदांत शास्त्र की जय, सारे श्रोतागण की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. आज के इस सत्संग मत आनंद की जय. Thank you. We will conclude to meet tomorrow, and in Hindi we'll have now Vakya Vritti Grantha for 20 minutes.